Hey, everybody, it's me, James Yan, and you're about to tune into an episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. This week, we talk about fundraising, how teachers have to earn their own money to get supplies in their classroom. Then we talk about the success of a double teacher model. That's right, more than one, actual two teachers in a classroom and success that they actually saw. Then we wrap things up talking about vacations. Do we need kids to go on a family vacation? That's up in the air. You decide. Stay tuned. We're about to begin.
Hey everybody, welcome to Crying in My Car, podcast for teachers. I'm the host, Devin Siebold, with my co-host, Mr. James Yan, and we're two comedians, former teacher and current parent, and we are hopefully here to make you laugh and ease your work day. I know that school is starting for many of you. Unless you're in New York, it doesn't start till December 7th for some reason. I've always thought it was wild how they start so much later, but hopefully we are able to provide a little bit of laughter, a little bit of levity for that. Now, in the process of school starting, the teacher wish lists, man, I made my post. I told you all that I was going to do my post about teacher wish lists.
You did.
And there were some amazing businesses that stepped up. Please go support those businesses. It's on my Facebook page. There's a full list of them. They stepped up and they helped buy teacher supplies.
That's awesome.
I bought my usual teacher supplies, but I've noticed how crazy it's gotten with teachers funding these classrooms lately. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is the sheer amount of teachers needing supplies. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I got a little bit of flack for posting something about, hey, teacher wish list. There was, hey, we should endorse teachers paying for their own stuff. Well, turns out they do. And a lot of them don't have the money for it. Mm-hmm. So they try to get people elsewhere to buy it, friends, family, parents, hopefully, and these wish lists. I look back, so I was able to see on my history. The first year I did this, I had about 500 wish lists commented.
Okay,
and then the next year I did it, I made about 1,000 wish lists commented, and then last year was 1,500 wish lists commented. So I'm pulling it up right now. As of today, let's see how many wish lists I have commented on this particular post. 4,500 wish lists.
Woo!
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm clapping because
I know.
I'm glad.
It's awesome that they found the post.
But that's how many teachers are in need. Now, okay, start at the beginning for parents out there listening right now. You guys are not given a certain amount of supplies that you need by the schools.
Correct.
Okay. So there's a list that comes out that you try to give the students to give to their parents. Please help us. Can you please provide that?
Yeah.
I know how important this is because I remember all my kids were in the same school at one point, and we would bring in a lot because we were not rich by any stretch of the imagination, but we understood that there was a need. So we would bring in this stuff. You should have seen the look in this teacher's face when we would bring all that stuff to her.
It's mind-boggling.
Like I thought she was going to cry, like literally, like.
And then guess what? You had a box of tissues there that you had just brought in, and she was like, "Thank you. We can reuse these." Yeah, but try them out.
But literally, the teachers, it's not them being greedy. It's not them just. They really need all this stuff.
I don't know if you think we're like stockpiling Kleenex to resell on the aftermarket. You know, it might have been different during COVID. I did ask for 17 things of toilet paper.
Gotcha. Yeah, we all did.
May have sold that on the back. No, I'm just kidding. But teachers need that kind of stuff. And it's a combination of things. Sometimes you go, okay, doesn't the school provide? Sure. It can provide some stuff. Mm-hmm. We had like a little pantry that we would get to go into. A lot of times out of stuff that I needed.
Okay.
They'd say, yeah, we just don't have dry erase markers. And I go, oh, okay. Well, I can put dry erase markers on my thing, but they're probably not going to get them, on a supply list. And then also what I saw this year that I hadn't recognized, but I guess some schools are doing it. I don't know if it's your school, tell us that that's what you guys are doing. Does it work or not? Mm-hmm. We have a grade level supply sheet for my kids. So the entire second grade got together and those teachers made one supply sheet to go out to all second grade.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea and a bad idea. I think
Why?
it's a good idea because you're kind of putting everybody on the same page. All the parents of second graders know exactly what they need to get.
Okay.
And if they go, if they don't like that teacher, they get moved, something like that, they have the same supply sheet.
Makes sense.
That said, I also think it's not exactly right because I don't think you're getting everything a teacher truly needs when they're grouping it together. If there's 5 teachers sitting around, what do we all need? Well, definitely pencils. Well, definitely they should bring in folders. But every year, what if I know that I do a specialty pipe cleaner project with poster boards and pipe cleaners?
Yeah.
I can't ask my colleagues, hey, can we put poster boards and pipe cleaners on there too? Because I kind of need those for my project that I'm specifically doing in my class. And then it becomes like, okay, this thing, if everybody does their own,
it's going to be 2.
which that's why I don't like the group one as much.
Gotcha.
I'd rather know, what do you need for my child to help them succeed in class?
I can see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so seeing these teacher wish lists, man, I'm not made of money. I'm trying. I'm putting some money out there. I'm buying some.
Let's be honest. You're putting a good sum of money out.
Yeah. But I'm buying some supplies, and I'm not buying the cheapest ones on people's list. I'm buying good ones. I'm buying interesting things that'd be cool in a class. I actually buy some of the stuff. I'll be honest. My choosing is sometimes when I look at your list, I'm like, I would like that if I was a kid.
There you go.
And I'll buy that.
Is there any particular products that stand out that most people are asking for? Like, is there common things that you always see?
What I do see a lot of, and I'm proud of it, I mean, when I see it, is a lot of inclusion books.
Okay.
A lot of books saying we're all together, all races and love and empathy. I see a lot of teachers trying to put books like that in their classroom, which is great. Not Florida teachers, obviously, but other teachers. You
guys have taken the color black out of crayons.
Yeah.
We can't even say that anymore.
There's a lot of art supplies, I would say, is pretty heavy. A lot of dry erase markers for sure. But there's like shortages. Sometimes you can't even get them, things like that. I see, sometimes I see creative, cool stuff. I bought one of the, the parachute thing, like a smaller one for the class. Remember when you were a kid and you used to woof and you'd run under it? That's fun. Yeah.
There you go.
You know what? I had fun with that.
Well, could we just buy one for us?
Yes,
we
I know. Just have a little parachute time.
Party, yeah.
But, stuff like that I think is pretty cool, But things on there that I see, I'm like, man, there's, somebody doesn't buy this, they're never going to get that. It's not available to them. The school would never buy it. Let me go ahead and buy that for him.
And I'm thinking back now as a parent, there were some items that you needed to have for certain classes, and I'm thinking math. It was expensive, like those those calculators that you needed for graphing calculators.
T92.
Woo,
was
that's
it the
right.
T92?
Yeah,
was
bro,
that it?
that was not cheap.
No.
I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's like now you can just buy an iPad with that. It's wild because it's probably a 99-cent app that is like an exact replica of the calculator that we had to have. But yeah, and it was so funny because my parents would spend $400 on a calculator, and I'm in class like, boobs. It says boobs. And my parents are so ashamed.
We're so proud. Look at it.
Right? And I'm like graphing stuff. I'm like, do you see this one?
Yeah.
It looks like boobs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always fun. But yeah, and I just throw some statistics behind the fundraising thing. 94% of American teachers spend their own money on classroom supplies.
That's insane.
And this is the thing too, is that of those 4.2 thousand comments that I have on that one post, a lot of them are actually people from other countries going, this is sad. It's a thing that does not happen in their country. They have access to funds. They can buy things for the class.
Are you serious?
No, there's German teachers on there going, it's absolutely shocking that you are getting such a response for these wish lists. That this is
so it's embarrassing for them to see this. Like, what's going on over there?
And the average annual outpouring of the money that they spend is $478. Teachers who, and this is another glaring discrepancy. I talked to the Secretary of Education about this, and he said this is not true, but it is. Teachers who have mostly low-income students spend more money, an average of $550 for their classroom.
Wow.
Low-income teachers. Why? Not a properly funded class, and the kids don't have anything coming in. We're not factoring that in. We're what do you need for your classroom? No. What does this child that comes in with no backpack, no pencils, no paper need to succeed in my classroom should be the question. It's not do I need posters on my wall? Do they have what they need?
And that's the part we don't talk about a lot as parents. Like I told you, we were not rich when we first had our kids. We were in our early 20s, had 3 kids 3 years in a row. So it was a struggle. Like when we saw the school year was approaching, like we were like, okay, like what are we giving up? What are we sacrificing so the kids can have clothes, they can have a backpack, they can have the proper supplies, and we can still buy what the teacher has on her wish list. So it's a struggle, man, out there on that side for parents.
But you're a great parent. There's a lot of parents out there that literally stop at one store, go, they don't have that? Meh. My mom, we were 6 different stores.
Yes.
Filling that list. That's like us. A scavenger hunt.
Yes.
But it was like, we have to have, your teacher said a red folder. I'm like, this one's orange.
No.
Your teacher said a red folder.
That's my wife.
And that was how it was. Yeah, that's how it was in my house when I was a kid growing up. And so,
it says 3 subject binder. This has 2. It said 3 subject binder.
And that's exactly how, but some parents don't. They're like, it is what it is. They'll
you'll make do because you're the teacher.
Yeah, they'll come through. But yeah, so it's weird seeing that other countries, definitely look down on us for having to spend that much money. Now, the last thing I'm going to say on this, some of y'all teachers out there with your wish list. Listen, there ain't no KitchenAid mixer that is needed in a classroom.
Devin, what you don't understand is what we're trying to do is provide.
Yeah, right. You don't understand. The inclusion of us baking together forms a community. Also, did you get the Oppenheimer DVD? That's something I want to show to my kid. It's R. Well, the PlayStation 5? No? Okay.
No. Got it.
PlayStation 4,
if you have to.
Yeah, but some of those times I literally am scrolling through. I'm like, and this is the thing. I'm not a bad person.
No, I don't think you are.
I will not. If I see something personal for you on there, I'm like, that's cute. I'm not buying it.
But that's cute. Yeah.
I will buy something else. I'm not going to take you out of the equation and go, look at them being selfish. Be selfish, teachers.
Yeah.
Put something for yourself on there, and maybe somebody will fill it, or a friend or family member will be like, you know what, they deserve that new toaster for their classroom.
It's a toaster, or it's probably a mug.
A mug.
It's probably a mug. Yeah.
Get it for them, Yeah. And teachers, also, don't be afraid. One thing that I've often been surprised at is, that Amazon has gift cards to other places. So if you have the supplies, but you're also like, I don't know, maybe I won't need this, maybe I will need this, maybe I'll need something throughout the year. Put a gift card to, Office Max or Staples.
That makes a lot of sense. So you can go pick it up if you need
or Starbucks, But put a little something on there to where people can go, all right, let me get them $10 to Office Max, and then you get a digital gift card, and then you can go pick it out for yourself.
That's right.
And maybe get a better deal, too, because it might be cheaper than Amazon. They might have, their school sales, back to school, whatever, and you can get it better.
Jeff Bezos is going, shut up, Devin.
I know, right? He's
now.
like, you get them on the wish list.
That's right.
You get them on the wish list.
He's sailing here right now on his yacht.
He is, right? All right. Let's go ahead and jump into this teachers in the news, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Clark County teachers are becoming adept at online fundraising for classroom supplies. There was actually an article about teachers fundraising for classroom supplies. And it says here that there is a teacher who has run 23 online campaigns to fundraise for his classroom materials over his past 12 years as an English and a media arts teacher in the Clark County School District. They interview him. They talk about his Amazon wish list. He says that he has basically came up with all the stuff that he needs, does donors Choose, does Amazon Wishlist, does other ones that match. There's all sorts of cool stuff like that. And he says, you know what? I got to fill the gaps. I got to fundraise. They move me from one thing to the next, and now I need to, if you're teaching TV, you got to have different materials, different supplies.
Absolutely.
So he has started up his own campaigns and tried to get people to raise it. And guess what? It's worked. A lot of these fundraisers get fully funded, and he's able to afford that stuff. I know that my mom used to fund some stuff from the classroom.
Okay.
She'd say, hey, I really want them to have this book. And she would put the book on Donors Choose and the project, and then strangers would put money towards it. And then Bill Gates was a notorious donor on Donors Choose. He matched all the time. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Nice.
They would always match stuff, and it would, so they'd send you an email and be like, "Hey, we're matching." And so I fund stuff on Donors Choose sometimes when I see the matching, because it's I can get you this whole library for $100, or I can pay $50 and have them match the 50, and then you get the library.
There you go.
That kind of stuff is really cool. Now, This I want to take a step back from the Teachers in the News for a second to kind of talk about this topic. So this teacher has fundraised for 23 online campaigns.
Okay.
Clearly, the funding is not there for whatever they need to do.
No.
Now, luckily, they were able to talk to the news. I worry about this teacher. I'd love to follow up with him because this is a national article. And a lot of teachers, I've gotten some messages. When I put the wish list out there, they said, hey, I can't comment publicly about my wish list because my principal doesn't want it out there that we need supplies. Here's my wish list.
Wow.
Yeah. And it resonated with me because I taught in a school like that. They said we don't like GoFundMes, Donors Choose, or wish lists because it makes us look underfunded. By the way, we were underfunded.
Yeah.
If you don't want us to look underfunded, don't underfund us.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the principal, what does he gain by doing that? Or she?
Nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Other than notoriety among their superiors. Is going, look at all my teachers. They're not out there fundraising. We are up here at this middle school. We are fully funded.
Yes.
Also, do you have any markers for my teachers because they're struggling? But yeah, we would have stuff like that, and it was disgusting too because we didn't have any money. We weren't properly funded.
No.
You couldn't put that stuff on. And do you know what we were reduced to, James?
What?
We were reduced to a weekly lottery.
Wow.
And we would put our names in replying to an email, and they would select 10 teachers at random.
Yes.
And you could drive all the way to the headquarters of the front office or the headquarters of the school offices, and you would get 10 minutes, like a stupid supermarket sweep.
Are you for real?
Where you could go in and get some stuff. And it was a lottery, weekly lottery.
That's horrific.
Or
that's,
degrading.
That's demeaning.
How about you just give me my stuff?
Yeah. Come on, run in there. You get 10 minutes. Yep. Come on. Bro, why would you do something like that?
This is the wildest thing. So we were told, don't fundraise, don't crowdfund, and also don't do these wish lists. And I'd put paper and stuff on there. And then we wouldn't get enough paper.
Absolutely.
And then not only would we not get enough paper, but the ink cost too much, they would say. So we got a code that we had to input in on the copy machine.
I've seen those,
and we only could print a certain amount of copies throughout the year. If you ran out of copies, you had to find somebody else to get copies from them. Well, some people are heavily, paper classrooms. They got a lot of big things. AP exams. I mean, printing an AP practice exam for an entire classroom, that's hundreds and hundreds of pages.
Yes, man.
And so you're telling them they can't, they're limited.
Hey. You have to cut out.
But guess what? We're funded.
You're funded.
We are funded.
Hey, Devin, see what you're going to have to do is cut out all that learning.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing wrong.
I've been doing it all wrong. I've been doing it all wrong. But that's why I say I worry about this guy.
Yeah.
Because he went to a news organization and said, I've been having to fund for the past 12 years. And 23 times I've had to fund stuff for my class that we don't get.
So you're thinking.
And I wonder if the school district came down on him.
You think a principal or superintendent's going to be like,
hey. If I did this, if I was in the news like this, instant phone call. Instant, hey, by the way, we want to talk to you about your article there.
Yeah.
And that's what I would see.
Let's hope that doesn't happen to that
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, obviously, I hope it doesn't, but the great, success that they're going with, but also all those teachers that message me, man, that stinks. I tried to do that, but also, by the way, don't tell me your principal. Now I'm going to get a flood of emails. My principal doesn't like this. Anyways, here's my list. Another KitchenAid mixer?
Yeah, another one.
Gone
Yeah.
broke. So, all right. This is what happens in schools, okay? We are considering DPS, that's the public school system there, is considering removing a double teacher model. So Dayton Public Schools had apparently a double teacher model. It was revolutionary.
Ooh.
2 teachers in class for the younger grades.
At the same time.
At the same time.
How do they afford it?
Dual teachers.
Dual teachers.
And they said, let's do dual teachers. We think having 2 teachers in the class will be better than having 1. And not only that, but they would teach they'd teach different subjects. And they would take half the class and teach one subject at the same time the other teachers teaching the other subject to the other half of the class. And then they would switch.
Okay.
And so basically they're getting smaller class sizes, more help, more functioning in the class. And guess what? They had great results. Because you know what? We already could have told you smaller class sizes work.
Yes.
Having more than one teacher in the class would work.
Yes.
And they're now this year going to cancel it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, the superintendent won Ohio Superintendent of the Year award because of the dual teacher model. And they have decided to cancel it because guess what? They don't have the funds for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't have the recruitment to get people in
So
to teach.
can we actually put a teacher on a wish list?
Yeah. I know.
Teacher?
Yeah.
Can we do that?
That's funny. I didn't think about that. But yeah, apparently they said that they don't have enough people hired for the positions they need this year. This model that they created, that they championed, that won the Superintendent of the Year award is now defunct because guess what? It was overly ambitious and it's sad, because those kids got a new model that worked great and apparently was successful for them. And now we can't,
Can't continue to do it. Yeah.
It's kind of baffling to me too, because as a teacher, I would want that.
Yeah.
I would actually if I'm getting paid the same amount, we're not splitting the pay.
That'd be, don't say that. That's going to come next,
I
sir.
know. Now they're like, let me get superintendent of the year 2 years in a row. But yeah, if I'm getting paid the same amount and I get a smaller class size and I can co-teach, I mean, man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would think you'd have more applicants. I think you'd have more people jumping in. That shows the state of teaching right there. That giving us an ideal situation still doesn't put them in the seat.
I'm going to pass.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I'm gonna pass this one. All right, this next one, James. You ever get fooled by online news?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Well, this one fooled me. I read this headline and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." Secondary school students beat teacher in Ugin, and I was like, "Oh, cool. That's probably like a game.
Yeah,
that's a neat game." And I was like, that's neat. And then I started reading it. A gang of 10 senior secondary students reportedly beat a teacher in Ugin, the city. Yeah, apparently there was a student that was cheating during an exam, and the teacher caught him and said, you can't cheat, took the exam, and then apparently the kids waited outside the school after school hours, ganged up and waylaid the teacher and beat him up at the school's gate. Apparently, they said that they beat him with a stick. And
okay, I'm confused because here's why. You're going to go through the trouble of cheating because you need a good grade, but then you're going to get kicked out for beating the teacher up afterward.
Yeah, for cheating.
Yeah.
It's like, I got caught, let me go beat up the teacher.
Yeah, that's going to solve all my problems.
The good news is that I read this, I felt obviously absolutely terrible for the teacher. No teacher should ever have to deal with anything like that. But the full force of the law, they said, are being brought down on all those kids. And, this is secondary kids. These are big kids.
Deservedly so.
Yeah, and so they're going to actually pursue legal action against them. I imagine already, if it hasn't been done already. But man, that title threw me off.
You thought, what kind of game is
students beat teacher in Ugin? I was like, ooh, Ugin.
I'd love to play Ugin.
What game is that? Yeah. And then I click on it, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah. All right. Well, never mind. Don't want anything to do with that game.
And for those reasons, I'm out. Yes.
Yeah. So definitely fooled on that one. All right. But anyways, hopefully that teacher heals, gets better, and we don't lose a teacher out there. And don't cheat. All right. Next one. Man, these kind of headlines, they strike you. You go, wow, that's great. And then you kind of read ahead and you go, man. Broward Schools here in Florida considering raising teacher compensation to $100,000.
Whoa, that sounds amazing.
That sounds absolutely amazing. So apparently there is a new public schools superintendent down in Broward, and apparently on the first meeting that they had with them, they said, hey, why don't we raise compensation to $100,000 for teachers and $150,000 for principals by 2025? And apparently somebody in the school board brought this up. Guess what he responded with? This is my fourth day on the job. You're going to ask me to reinvigorate the entire budget? And he said, well, yeah, what do you think the public's feedback would be if we pay teachers $100,000 in 2 years of total compensation? Will anyone think that's a rotten idea? He said, and this is the thing, the school district representative said the higher property tax revenue, more money from the state, money from a referendum equals funding to pay for the raises without any budget gimmicks. 31% pay raise for teachers, it's a substantial raise in salary. And guess what they said? We'll talk about it next meeting. Yeah. So apparently he said, look, I support the concept, but also the budget cycle. It may be fiscally reckless. We may not want to do that, And it's every single time they do this stuff. They talk about it. They want their time. Guess what?
That's why I laugh.
They got their news article.
Yep.
And their names in the news. Look at them fighting for the $100,000. And but a teacher stood up during this meeting and said, "Look, as I stand before you, my salary is $50,000 per year. This is my 8th year as a teacher. Will I ever be able to afford a house in the county where I teach? No." Probably not. Yeah. And so that kind of stuff, it's so frustrating. You sit there and you see it, and you literally have a school board member go, by the way, we have the budget for this. And they go,
we'll talk about it next.
We'll talk about it later.
And we all know that because that's parent talk. Hey, we'll see when we get home. That means no.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. So last thing I want to talk about is a news article. This one was kind of an opinionated piece that hit me. It hit me with a realization I didn't have. Mm-hmm. So when I was teaching, I was a veteran teacher at 13 years in.
Okay.
Now, James, if you go to a job and somebody says, I've been here for 13 years, do you think they're the senior ranking member of that particular job?
They'd probably be one of them.
You think so? For 13 years?
30, yeah.
For a career-oriented job.
Well, 20 are almost going to be
20. 20 is good, yeah.
20, yeah.
See, I think 20 and up is like, okay, you're a senior ranker.
Gotcha. You don't think 13, 15?
I don't know, man.
That's a long time to be in some place for one place.
I
13.
agree. But this was an article that apparently was kind of written by a teacher. And he said, look, I've been teaching for 17 years. And he came to a wild realization. Apparently, he was sitting there at the beginning of school. They welcomed a new principal, new dean of students, school psychologist, literary specialist, and other members of the team, instructional coach, band teacher, 6th grade teacher. And he looked around the room and he said, second year, first year, second year, first year, first year, first year, second year, 5th year, I'm the senior ranking member. And it's a weird realization that at 17 years, you're so far up there and you are the senior ranking. We always think, because this is the thing, I started teaching when I was 21. Mm-hmm. So 13 years in, I'm only 34 at that particular point. I don't think of a 34-year-old as knowing everything about something.
Well, okay, first off, you don't.
Right.
Well, what I mean by that is
Yeah.
even when any career you're in, you still continue to learn and progress the
Yeah.
longer you're in it. So you always have something still to learn. But 13, 15 years, you're proficient at doing something.
Yeah, but you got to kind of guide the ship, you know?
You have to.
And it's kind of weird to me because I just didn't think of myself as like old enough to guide the ship. Like that's a weird realization is like, oh, I'm the one that has to be in charge. I'm the one they're going to look to.
You got to
know?
be the adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny. This person said something that really resonated with me.
Okay.
So I was teaching at a school that had really high turnover rates. And we had a lot of teachers that were first year, second year, third year. And I'll never forget, I was like 10 years in, and they came in and they go, hey, everybody, this is the new thing we're doing this year. Because that's exactly what teachers do is they go, or school districts do. They go, all right, we have a new something. We invested in this. Here's our new idea. Here's how you're going to be giving notes. The Cornell notes this year is going to be the big thing. We get the unit question, unit essential question, lesson essential question on the board. We got this. This is what you're going to do. Every year, something new.
Got it.
And at 10 years in, they came in and said, this is the new thing. And all the new teachers, ooh, okay, all right. And then I was in the back of the room, and I said to myself, we did this. And it failed. And this person said, I have to be the one at 17 years in to go, we tried that and didn't work. And when you start to have all these teachers leaving that are senior going, I'm retiring early.
Yep.
The 20 years are gone. The 15 years are gone. The 10 years are gone. We don't have anybody going, hey, that won't work.
How do you know? Because we tried
it,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. And that's the thing is there's a cycle that keeps happening. And I was like blown away as a teacher. I'm sitting there 10 years in, and I'm like, we're repeating stuff now.
Yep.
I've been here long enough that now the new.
There you go.
The new is my old. It's like, well, this isn't going to work. We already tried that.
Yeah.
And guess what, James? It didn't work. It never worked. You know what was wild is I had it was a graveyard of broken promises and ideas. We had a break room, not a break room, a copy room. And there were literally like binders all over the wall
of the different initiatives.
Every year.
Yeah.
And the thing that made me so infuriated, the district spent thousands of dollars on the training, the materials. James, I would grab some of these binders and I'm like, there's 300 pages in here. Somebody had to print that.
Yes.
And that went to all the teachers. How much was it just to administer this? And guess what? We were never invested in it. It always changed. It was cycled over.
Funny part is one binder costs as much as a teacher's salary.
Yeah.
Just
it did.
One of those.
You know what? That was brought up at the Broward County meeting. They're like, how can we afford this? No binders. Well, I don't want to be the one to take that off the table. But yeah, so I thought that was pretty wild. A veteran teacher telling the stories about the past was never something I envisioned for myself, but it's a role I wound up playing. And over the course of the year, I've struggled to balance representing the history and culture of my school with my desire to support our ongoing and ever more pressing need to adapt. Aging gracefully is difficult for all of us, but as a teacher, it's been trickier than I expected.
Wow.
And man, I was just reading this article and it just really resonated with me. I was like, man, I remember that. I remember the realization of people coming to me with questions.
That's right.
And I'm like, I didn't know this answer 8 years ago. Why would I know it now?
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't figure this out. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's wild to me. But as we lose the veteran teachers, we lose a guiding star.
That's right.
And I think that's kind of something we haven't really talked about is these people that know what to do in these situations.
And it's funny because I've talked about it a lot on the show, but my kids had a really good relationship with all their teachers, and they're leaving just because of all the things that are happening. Not because they're ready to retire, because they love what they actually do.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm done.
But see, that's the thing is that I was getting at. The point is that not only are the kids missing out, but the new teachers coming in are missing out on that guidance from the teachers that did it right.
That's right.
You know, the teachers that were the masters, you know?
Because they became that.
Yeah.
Like, my kids had a teacher at their school at OXA, the School of the Arts, that was my teacher in high school. She was good. Like, she was great.
Yeah.
And she taught history, and I love history. And she was good at teaching it from an angle that you would understand and you would remember and you wanted to learn more. So those people, like those old veterans, those OGs, gone.
Yeah.
No.
Yep, absolutely.
The senior teachers, like you said, are 32.
They are.
They are.
And
honestly,
I'll be honest. I mean, you can't take them seriously. It's like, what experience do you have?
Right.
You know, what have you done? And it's like 10 years, maybe, but
gotcha.
It's just not enough. I think you really need to get but again, you also got to adapt to the new stuff.
You have to.
Yeah, it's
inevitable.
a struggle.
Yeah.
Struggle. All right. The last thing I want to talk about is this vacation that you're on.
Ooh. I am on vacation.
Look, you got the shorts on.
Okay, these are what we call dad knees.
Yeah.
When you see a grown man wearing shorts like this, these are because he's on vacation.
I wouldn't say we skipped leg day. I would say we never had a leg day.
I never had a leg day, no. Only leg I eat, turkeys. Okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, man, it looks like Thanksgiving dinner over there. What's going on? So you're on vacation right now.
I am, and with my beautiful family. And I say my beautiful family because even though my kids are older, all moved out and doing different things, we always come together every 2 years and have a family vacation still.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And what's the plans?
Theme parks, a lot of theme parks. Like right now, my kids, while dad's working, and my wife are at the theme parks, spending all my money. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with your vacation, you said you wanted to tell me something about you being...
Yeah. Okay. Look.
I was looking forward to the story. I've not heard it yet.
I'm like you. I became a veteran at something also as a parent. I became a veteran parent, and I can tell people all the things that happen and all the old war stories of being a parent. There's situations that happen, and you can relate, where your kids will do something and it won't be a good thing, and you have to sit there and eat that and apologize to the other parent, like, you know what, my bad. And I've had those on vacation with my kids. My son Devin, love him. He's friendly. He thinks when he was a little kid,
he's my favorite child.
Yeah, because of the name. Well, Devin has always been really friendly, outgoing, and he thinks if he says hi to a kid, they're friends. That's how he was. So I remember one time we were at Disney, walking down Main Street. It's wall-to-wall people. Families are walking by. There's a kid walking by. He has a little hat on. He has a little lollipop. My son says, hi. The kid says, hi back. So Devin thinks we're friends now.
Yeah.
So as the kid walks by, Devin just takes a lick of that lollipop.
Oh, no. Just lick the kid's lollipop.
And he did it so matter-of-fact, like,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Let me say his mom, and I'm going to name her Karen, was not happy.
Oh.
No. She's like, hey, you don't lick another person's lollipop. And that is good advice.
Yeah.
Yes. And
that is good.
That's great advice. And all I can do is say, hey, my bad. And I just kept going.
Yeah. Did you take a lick too?
I took the whole thing. Go run like the wind.
You're right. You're right. This is ours now.
Just walked by the kid, and the kid said hi. He said hi. Hey, he licked it and just thought it was okay.
That's embarrassing.
That was embarrassing.
I've had just a few moments like that, but my moment was my youngest, Gavin. He was a bee on stage during a little like school thing. Did not want to be there, and just laid down. And
in the middle of the performance,
didn't move, didn't sing, didn't dance. And I was sitting in the crowd like, he's doing a expressionist piece on global warming.
Yeah, you don't understand.
This is the end result of our society. It's a message to all of us. We should be thankful.
You just did a bravo, bravo.
I'm dressed in all black with round glasses. I tell you, I brings a tear to my eye.
You were like John Littman. What's the guy's name? Yeah. Actor Studio.
Actor Studio, yes.
Oh my God, that's funny. But he just laid down like, nah, I don't feel it.
No,
don't feel it.
We don't. So I like vacationing. I do a lot of staycations, and you do too. I mean, we live here. We live in Orlando, and as wild as it is, it's cool to just stay here.
Where am I gonna go on vacation? To California? It's Florida. To stay here. here.
A lot of teachers do staycations here.
Oh,
so
I understand.
It's so wild because I get a lot of teachers that message me and they're like, "Hey, I'm at Disney. Are you here too?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm here. Or I was there." And I'm like, "Are you visiting?" And they go, "Nope. I live here."
Yep.
And that's what we do.
That's
we
what we
like
do.
to go to Disney World. We like to staycation. I always found it funny, some jokes that I wrote in just a second, but I always found it funny that when you get on vacation, you ever get in vacation and you go into the hotel and you turn on the TV and it brings you to the channel that shows you all the better vacations that you could be on. It's like, just so you know, people with money are doing this. Press enter on your TV if you're not poor.
You're like, oh, this is not for me. You just turn the TV off.
Now, when I think about teachers, I think about going on vacation. Teachers have a lot to look forward to. But when, teachers on vacation is a little bit different. Like when I'm on vacation, I use SPF 50.
Oh.
Now, that also stands for students pass fail, which is also 50.
There you go.
50-50. 50 of them go, 50 of them stay.
Gotcha.
Also, when you're out working out, you like to stay in shape, and you got to continue that when you're on vacation. And I go down to the gym, and when I'm on the treadmill, I like to imagine that another teacher is behind me trying to get me to cover their class.
Oh.
I'm just booking it. Yeah. Then, I sometimes bring the kids on vacation.
Yes.
And, you get 2 rooms.
Yes.
Because it's not enough room for you. The
Absolutely.
hotel's like, can you unlock the door between the rooms? You can unlock it. And I'm like, the door? Oh, we don't need that. No. Can we put them on a separate floor?
Yeah.
Are there children on the floor? I don't want
Sir,
that.
they're 7 and 8. I know. I know.
Also, as a teacher, I pull down the curtains. I like, darkness. And everybody's like, oh, is it, so you can sleep better? No, it's because I know that there might be students out there Snapchatting me in a bathing suit.
Yes.
And I want nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And then when I'm on vacation, also as a teacher, I like to go out and eat at all the places I normally wouldn't eat at when I'm home. Mm-hmm. And then I remember I have a teacher's paycheck and I'm at White Castle.
We do that on vacation, though. You will spend a little bit more because you're on vacation.
Yeah. You're like, well, you know what? $30 cheeseburger.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not?
Oh, this is it? Oh, this is vacation burger. This is delicious.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at that vacation American cheese. Yeah, but no, I enjoyed it. But being a teacher on vacation was a little bit different. You got to be frugal. You have to. And you also got to stay away from the children. I hate to say it. I know that sounds absolutely terrible, but kids, we want away. We like adult vacations. You
want to
things
do
like
things
that.
where, I understand that.
I agree. I think so, anyways. Mm-hmm. And this brings me to a point. I'm considering going on a cruise.
You know how I feel about cruises.
Or you won't go.
No, I love them.
Oh, you do?
Man, I absolutely love cruises. My wife was afraid to go, and I took her in 2016. She became addicted to going on cruises. We took our whole family in 2018.
I love that.
I love cruises, people. I do.
And where do you go?
Any and everywhere. And my favorite's Norwegian. I like that because for me, I'm not a Carnival guy. That's more of a party boat. But Norwegian just has great stops. It's more a little upscale. Great food everywhere, restaurants and whatnot. Good shopping when you go to Belize and all these places. We absolutely love it. They have a teen club for our teenagers to go when we used to go with them, so they can go there and just be away from the parents. Mm-hmm. And you can be separate with the wife, and they're still safe.
Nice.
That's the thing I love about cruising with my family.
See, I'm going to one-up you, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Friend of mine has been posting online, and I was like, that's perfect for teachers. That's perfect for me. She's been posting for a while. Her name's Laura Poe, and I went to middle school with her and high school for a little bit. And she started going on Virgin cruises. Okay. Have you heard of Virgin cruises?
I have.
So do you know the special thing that teachers might like about the cruises?
I don't.
No kids. Not allowed.
Oh, that's right.
Not on the boat at all.
You can't bring kids
there. You cannot bring kids on the boat.
Because their commercial is no kids.
Yeah. So she kept posting about it, and she was like, hey, I'm going on this Virgin cruise, and there's no kids allowed. And I'm like, when does this go?
And do you have to get off?
But I think I'm gonna book something with her. It's curated by Laura Poe. She didn't pay for that. But I just thought, when I was looking at it, I was like, teachers might enjoy that.
They would love that. Have you been on a cruise before?
I've been on a cruise before with children.
And it's different.
We got Disney cruises, things like that, Norwegian, Royal. Laura puts together like the Virgin one, and I was like, you know what? No Kids sounds amazing.
Do it.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to do it. I don't know. I got to decide on the destination.
No, it doesn't matter. When you're on a cruise, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
You think so?
Yes.
Where you're going?
Well, uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah. Because I've stopped at some ports that I was like, never again.
Okay, that's Port Canaveral.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Miami.
This is not a real stop.
That's true. People think this is Florida. You get off and you're like, wow, 8 T-shirt places in one block, and they're all $5.
It's amazing.
Yeah, this is America.
That's fine.
All right, devincomedy.com for all my upcoming tour dates. James, what you got coming up, buddy?
I got more tour dates coming out. Thank you guys for following me. You can still follow me the same way if you haven't already. You should. James Yon Comedian. That's YON on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, and don't forget, check me out on the Board Teachers Comedy Tour. I got a lot of stuff coming up with that. And speaking in schools, always available.
Right.
So just message me, and don't forget those teacher wish lists. And also, if you are a business and you are wanting more exposure, I will post about your business on my Facebook page. Over 265,000 followers will see your business. All you have to do is help out teachers with the wish list. Just go to my Facebook page, Devin Siebold Comedian, look up the wish list post, and all the instructions are there, the way you get your business promoted and help out teachers as well.
That's nice.
All right, we'll be back next week with a brand new episode of Crying in My Car, a podcast for teachers. There might be a clip up there. There might be a clip down there. If it's got our face, if it's other people's stuff, come back. Don't click on that. But us suggested things. That's us crying in my car. Devin Siebold, James Yon, Board Teachers. Watch. New trailer for Indiana Jones. No, don't do that. Don't do that.